Clippers shooting guard, joining us now. How's the jumper, JJ?
How you doing, Dan?
Good.
I heard you have great form. I'm looking forward to seeing your instructional video.
Yeah,
I really am.
yeah. Last time you lost a shooting contest.
Ooh. Well, we have some pretty good shooters on our team. I don't really lose in the three-point shooting contest, but we have a swish game that we like to play from the free throw line. And Jamal and I kind of go back and forth. So Jamal Crawford's beat me a couple times in the swish game from the free throw line.
Well, I've said if I hit rim, that's a miss.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how the game works.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the game works. And he's got a little more arc than I do on his shot. And so his makes are, worth more essentially in the game because he swishes more.
Give me the best shooting dunker in the NBA.
Best shooting dunker.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, I think I immediately think of Ray Allen like 5 years ago, and I don't know, Ray's not with the team currently. I expect him to probably play at some point this season. He's the first guy that comes to mind. I think Bradley Beal. I think he's a really good kind of mix of shooting and athleticism. He's a young player. Paul George is another name. I think he, for driving the ball, obviously in the open court, he can do some nice things with the basketball, and I've seen him do some 360s in a game. He's also a fantastic shooter.
If I said you could win 3-point shooting contest or the dunk contest?
The dunk contest, for sure.
When's the last time you dunked?
I've got some tricks now. Even though I'm 30 and I'm, probably not that athletic, I can do some dunks.
When's the last time you dunked?
You got to get me on a good day.
Okay, but in-game dunk.
In a game?
Yeah.
2011, I think.
Well, you sure it wasn't at...
So it's been a while.
Did you dunk at Duke?
We had a couple of dunks at Duke. They were less than emphatic. They were less than emphatic. They were squeakers, as I like to call them.
Oh, little rub dunks.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of put it over the rim and just kind of grab the rim. Yeah, exactly. They don't really count. But
he's J.J. Redick, the Clippers guard, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Steve Ballmer can be a pretty exciting guy. Have you seen him when he gets animated?
I have. He was kind enough to come down for one of our preseason games, and he acted like it was Game 7 of the finals. So I think this will be par for the course for the season. He even came in the locker room afterwards and was thanking us profusely for winning the game. And he's got one voice level, and it's loud. And I love him. I mean, he's full of energy, and got a chance to spend a little bit of time with him in Vegas when we were out there for training camp. He joined us for dinner one night. Just a great guy, and excited for the future with the Clippers.
Seton, can you do your Steve Ballmer impersonation for JJ, just to let him know what it's like?
Yeah, let's go! Woo!
What do you think?
Pretty spot on. I would just add in, I love this company. Just screaming, I love this company. And it's perfect.
Did you blame your son for getting a technical foul in the preseason?
Dan, you know how this works, all right? They asked me a question. I didn't think the question was serious, and I kind of just gave this long monologue about, having a newborn at home and him making me grumpy, and that was the reason that, I got these technicals in the preseason. I don't really think it was his fault necessarily. I'm not going to blame him for it, but certainly the lack of sleep, or the kind of the interrupted sleep that I'm going through right now is different for me. So, but it's definitely not the reason why I got the technicals now.
Could you date or marry somebody?
I got the technicals because I used the F word. That's why I got the technicals.
Could you date somebody who went to North Carolina? Could you marry somebody who went to North Carolina?
Ooh. I couldn't marry anyone besides my wife, but
I know. But let's say before
I dated a girl briefly my freshman year that went to Carolina, and I was never very welcome over on their campus, so it just didn't work. I just couldn't ever go over there. So I just stay away.
Wait, so you went on campus at North Carolina?
Yeah, there were a few times that I ventured over to Chapel Hill, and I had some friends over there. We kind of try to hang out, and it just every time it seemed like it ended with a mob of people chasing me through a parking lot. So I just eventually said, I don't think this is a good idea. When you get your shoe thrown at your car as you're leaving, you're like, I'm probably not going to come back.
Why didn't you go in disguise?
I don't know. I think I had like 3 things in my wardrobe at the time, and all of them were Duke basketball sweatshirts. So I probably didn't do a good job of being incognito.
Are you still making music? Are you still rapping?
No. I gave up on that dream about 6 years ago. So no. When I was in college, I wrote like song lyrics and kind of poems or whatever. But I stopped doing that. So I'm not very musically inclined, and my poems were not well received by the critics, by the masses. So I gave up on that dream.
It was just another reason for schools around the ACC to hate you once they found out you wrote poetry.
Exactly. As you get older, you mature a little bit, and you realize, what you're good at and what you're not good at, and you got to stay in your lane. So I try to stay in my lane now.
Could you out-jump Kobe right now?
Whew. I don't know. I'm a person that I'm just not going to doubt Kobe in anything. Let's see what he does with the full season. Hopefully he stays healthy. I really do want to see him stay healthy for the year and see what he can do, because he's one of the greatest workers, greatest competitors, and greatest talents we've ever seen. And, the way Father Time works, I'd love to see somebody give him a run for his money, for sure.
Has he ever yelled at you, talk trash to you?
Oh, yeah. Well, we played against him in the finals back in 2009, and I had the pleasure of guarding him a little bit in that series. And for sure, he's jawed at me a little bit.
But what would he say to you?
In essence, you can't guard me, which probably at the time I could not. So
what if you just said
accurate? I don't know if that's trash talk or if it's just truth telling. It's more truth telling than I can tell.
Yeah. So he was being accurate. You can't really be mad if he says you can't guard me, because that's
no.
Isn't that where you just say, yeah, you're right? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and that was back when he used to do his little every time he wanted the ball.
Wait, is he doing that with his tongue?
Yeah, he did just like a snake, like he wanted the ball from his teammates. You never heard that?
I never heard the snake.
He's done it for years. Yeah, he does it all the time. Yeah, so, but it was, he's obviously one of the greatest two guards ever. So, I mean, the fact I'll tell that story when I'm old. But in 2009, I guarded Kobe in the finals. I mean, that's a great story.
Yeah, but then somebody's going to say, well, how'd you do, Dad?
I think if you look at his shooting percentages, when I was guarding him for that series, they were probably on par or lower than everyone else. Now, it was a small sample size. But I did all right.
Wow. Here's the headline. Redick locks down Kobe.
That'll never be that.
Calls out Kobe. Says he can out-jump Kobe. Made fun of his...
No, I didn't say that. No, I look, I mean, it's funny because, Kobe started playing back in the mid-'90s, and I was 10 years old, 12 years old, whatever I was at the time, and guy I grew up idolizing, and, I mean this sincerely. I really hope that he has a great year and stays healthy.
He's J.J. Redick, the Clippers guard. Before I let you go, your top 3 rappers of all time, since you once were in the game.
Top 3 rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 3 rappers of all time. I'm going to say Eminem, Nas for me. I've always loved him. And then my favorite of all time is Tupac. So.
Ooh, man. We
Those
might
would be
go.
my 3.
Yeah, I'm a Biggie.
Are you a Biggie guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go, East Coast, West Coast. Yeah, can't. Have you met Eminem?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Do you want to?
If you have the hookup, yeah, you can set it up next time he's in LA. Let's make it happen for sure.
All right, I'll blow him up. I'll hit him on his hip. I'll holla at him.
All right.
Why should I pick the Clippers to make the finals? I had San Antonio against the Bulls here, but can you talk me out of that?
No, I can't. I can't. No, I'm being serious. Listen, everybody tries to talk themselves out of the Spurs every year, and the fact is, as long as they're healthy and they're doing it, they're the favorites. There's no reason to think otherwise. We to assume just that we're going to automatically take a next step. If we're going to assume that, that's naive on our part as a team. I mean, we've got to buy into the process of team building and everything that happens during the course of the year is kind of culminates in the playoffs. And just because we made the second round next year doesn't mean anything, or last year doesn't mean anything for this year. We gotta go on our own little journey here and figure things out.
Hey, great to have you on, and I appreciate the honest answers. Stop blaming your son for getting technicals this year, and good luck for the 3-point shooting contest.
All right, thanks for having me on, Dan.
All right, that's J.J. Redick, Clippers guard.